here is the first time, the very first time we have the Walking Dead comic in color. And I know you're going to say, but Ronnie, you dummy, we already got it last month. What are you talking about? Listen, they released issue 1 years ago in color. From issue 2 on, it's going to be the very first time you could read The Walking Dead in color. This will be the first time ever you can see this art and these pages in color. Then from issue 7 on, it'll kind of switch. I guess it's not really important because you can see what Charlie's art looks like in color, but Tony Moore stopped doing the interior art and Charlie Adler started doing the interior art, which means from issue 7 on, it's going to change slightly and it will be Charlie's art on the inside, fully in color for the very first time. So that's actually pretty cool. Now, Charlie and Tony Moore have a bit of a difference when it comes to style. It is close, but Tony Moore's got a little bit sharper edges with his detail. Here's a couple examples. Whereas Charlie is a touch softer, I think is the best way to explain it with some of those details. Here's 2 examples there if you see my drift. Real quick, as we jump into this, I think this is cool. On the back, they got the original cover, how it was colored, and then bam, you flip it over and there it is. Now I'm going to show off each of the covers, but real quick, don't forget Doomsday Kingdom. Any day now we are going to start shipping out. We're just waiting for the books to come in the mail, but we have our packet made in the USA, baby. Everything was printed and made in the USA except for the artwork. That was actually done by a UK artist, James Milne, kicking ass. Here's your freebie trading card. You can't see it there because it's in a protector and everything's protected in a little baggie. Look at that, man. Oh, yo, I can't wait till you get this little packet. We've got a ton of them already prepped, so the minute I get the books, we are going to start shipping out like crazy. Now let's get back to the Walking Dead comic. That's Doomsday Kingdom on Indiegogo, by the way. Links all down below. Anyone who orders now gets a packet of freebies with every single order. $50 worth of stuff for the $30 price tag. Go down below and check it out. All right, now back to The Walking Dead. Here's the covers. Here's the original cover that's recolored. Did I say that right? Here is one that looks like, you tell me, it looks like concept art for a video game. I can see like The Last of Us. That's what it reminds me of. Anyhow, like video game concept art specifically. Here's one of my personal favorites. I like this. I think this is by Arthur Adams. No, David Finch. David Finch. Arthur Adams is the guy who did a cover, but I don't have it. I guess my store didn't get those covers or didn't get enough. I didn't get one. Here's the Charlie Adler. I'm thinking about skipping this one because if I can slide over here and show you. First off, I want to show you the 5 covers. This is the one I'm missing from Arthur Adams. This is a shame because this is actually a cool one. If I can only pick one, which I think I'm going to do, I think moving forward, depending on how you guys like me showing off all the covers, I think moving forward, I might just show you them all in the back of the book, and each month I might just pick up one, and we'll kind of go over with a quick little re-review. Anyhow, that's one of my favorites. I'm kind of glad I do own that one, though. It's still pretty cool. I do like the classic, but I did want this one. If I could pick 2, I'd probably pick those 2. I'll have to try to find that somewhere down the line. But if you take issue 1 and you pop it together, the Charlie Adler covers, next to issue 2, you can see the horsetail lines up and the house lines up. That's going to continue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that's cool for anyone who likes connected covers. Now, the one bogus thing about this issue, I thought was a little bogus. Let me read this. We'll open this one up. It's definitely cool. We're going to come back and look at some of the art because it's cool getting some of these pages. We'll do it now. It's cool seeing some of these pages for the very first time ever in color. And again, when I reread The Walking Dead, I don't see any reason to ever reread it in black and white. I know some people might feel nostalgia towards that. I'm leaning towards the color. Now, I'm not sold still on the coloring for the human characters. For some reason, for me, it's coming off a little too flat, but also I'm going to go with the same thing I said last time. It's coming off like bright but pale. It's like bright, but he looks sick. You know what I mean? So I'm still not sold on the human colors, especially when it's really close up. But some of these are neat. I am a touch disappointed when they get to the moment where the zombies tear open the horse, because I was expecting like this pop of visceral red blood with some dark blood, and get a mix of colors there. Here's the first time you can see that iconic panel that they used for the season 1 poster. I was going to say, he talks about it in the back of the book. I always wondered why he didn't make this a 1-page splash, because it's such a cool looking panel, but he really probably in his head didn't envision it being, as iconic looking as it ended up being. Anyhow, this should have been this, the page turn reveal probably should have been that. Like, let's go, boy, and then you turn the page, and then you're hit with this, but it's an entire page. That probably should have ended up that way. But we have the horse here getting surrounded, and this is where I said when it starts getting torn apart, you kind of have this, I don't know. I mean, it's a bit more muted than I expected. And if they keep that up, I'm really wondering how they're going to go about some of the human kills, because maybe you can get away with this because it's the innards of a horse. But I just expected a little more splashes of brighter blood, giving it that punch. For the walkers, I think that's actually spot on. Maybe a little too muted. Yeah, that's actually a good point. It is a little too muted. It's as if it's almost there, but they overdone it, making it kind of like black and brown blood instead of having red blood coming out of the zombies, which I'm fine with, because I'm not really sure if it should be red blood. It should kind of be like oldish. Now, here's where we get to a little bit of the bogus. And the last thing I'll mention on the coloring, and it sticks for all the characters. Like, I don't know what it is, man, but it just doesn't rock with me. It just looks bright and sick. Like the characters are actually ill. Anyhow, this could be a weather thing. Like, it is heading into winter, so that's why they could have this subtle sky here. But I just expected once in a while the color would pop for some of the environments. We'll have to wait and see for some of the sunset scenes. If they still mute it down, then that would be a little disappointing. But maybe this is because it does fit the weather. See, the leaves are falling off all the trees. In a few issues, it's going to be snowing. But this is definitely cool, seeing some of these iconic pages for the first time, fully colored. Here we go. That is definitely cool. Now, here's the bogus part. So you get, speaking of which, frickin' clicker mask is amazing. I did a review on that. It's a custom one. Check it out. It's like staring at me in the corner of my eye there. Anyhow, I don't know how it's staring at me without eyes, but keep it going. Now, I know we're going to have a fan going, what are you talking about, staring at you? Now, here's the letter hacks. Usually it'd be letters from fans. This is like, okay, it's a full page of some editor that never read The Walking Dead, played the Telltale's video game, never read The Walking Dead, but then got a job, and all of a sudden, it's the greatest thing ever. In the entertainment industry, we hear this time and time again. And the only reason why I'm a little pissy about it is because 9 times out of 10, when you follow up with some of these people, once they stop working for the company, they end up like, it wasn't really that good, So I don't believe it until they're talking good about it long after they left. Anyway, now we get to the meat of the bonus features. And unfortunately, there's just not enough meat on that bone. Now you get issue 2 cutting room floor, and it's cool seeing his outline. And his outline, and as a fellow writer, I kind of compare, what does my outline look like to other writers? And he does, there's not much difference, with an outline is an outline. But he does do it really simplified in the very beginning. But it's impressive how on point it seems to be. Like, I frequently, with my outlines, I'll move a lot of things around, especially if I'm tweaking an issue and the pacing and whatnot. But this is pretty much on point, except for he removes a little bit of Rick, sleeping with the horse. Not like that, you sick you know, bestiality pervert or whatever, but like he sleeps in the car and the horse is tied up on, I don't know, the door or some shit like that of the car. Anyway, so this is cool because he explains his process for some of these notes that he made and what ended up happening and what ended up making it into the book. Here's where we get the bullshit. All right, the back of this, first off, you're already getting fans saying this is a cash grab because you're just re-releasing instead of continuing with some Negan alongside of this. You're just re-releasing stuff you already have out there, but colored. So it's the same old. You're doing a bunch of variant covers to get that money coming in, and I stand behind this being in color because I've been asking for it for years. I want to reread The Walking Dead in color. That's it. You know, I have no reason ever. I'll collect black and white, but I'm going to read the color. Now, this is not bonus stuff. I mean, it technically is, but if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, who gives a shit about this? I already have it. I already have it in like 3 different releases. For example, the 10-year anniversary, which is a cool one to collect because The Walking Dead was released in black and white, and the cover was colored. Then they released a colored issue 1 with a colored cover, and then they did a variant where the cover was black and white and the interior was color, which is a reverse of how they normally do it. But in the back was this, which was cool when they did release it. And I think they even released this for one of their books, like the very first book. I wanted to make sure I had it right, but it's not in the actual book 1, but it is in... Get out of here. Get out of here. It is in, here's the issue 2 in color, and then here's volume 1, issue 1 that was released years ago in color. Same shit. We got the same special features in the back of the thing. This is the 10-year anniversary, issue 1 in color. Bam. We talked about this one a while back. It's just the same bonus stuff. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I found that to be real bogus. I feel like the bonus features, the behind-the-scenes stuff in the back of the new colored issues, it should all be new stuff. You're only adding a few pages new, you know, each month. And they've been working on this years out. I think they said they had like 2 years worth of work done before they released issue 1 or some shit like that. If that's the case, I just don't even understand. Even if you're going to write story stuff, like explaining what went down, what didn't happen, the cutting room floor, and this is all you have from issue 2, I don't know. Even sketches that we haven't seen before. I'm just not sure. I don't know. Bogus stuff. Anyway, issue 2 was all right. If it wasn't for reviewing it, honestly, I would probably just wait. Next time I made it up to the shop, I would have picked it up. It is nice to read it in color. I'm loving that. Some of the color isn't hitting for me, but I do wish I could just sit down with a good volume all at once and get a good read going, get a good feel for it. And I feel like I won't have that until we got a number of issues out at once so I can read up on. But you let me know how that's going for issue 2 of The Walking Dead in color. And don't forget, Doomsday Kingdom, if you want something new, hot, and different, at least give it a shot. I am extremely proud with Volume 1, and I guarantee 9 out of 10 of you that read Volume 1 are going to dig it. It's different. It's not cheap and wild, you know, off-the-wall type, comedic, you know, comic book type stuff. Kept it very grounded. It's for comic readers, but also people who are interested in movies and love movies, but also can enjoy a story that is in comic book format. So definitely take a chance on it. I promise you, you won't regret it. Well, 9 out of 10 of you won't. 19 out of 20. How about that? All right. Thoughts and opinions down below. I'm done talking. It's your turn. Real quick, I might as well mention, since we are so close to hitting 13,000, I mentioned this before on a live stream, but everyone's book is getting signed as the brand new upgrade. I was going to wait until we hit 13,000 on Indiegogo, but I'm doing it right now. And don't forget, any order that comes in from right now and in the past, everybody is getting a free packet of goodies, and everyone's book on the inside cover, the buffer page, is going to be getting signed. So stay tuned for the update when the books arrive. Now buy, officially, I hope.